I'm here today to talk with Steve Berk about whistleblower claims. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
What is a whistleblower claim?
A whistleblower claim is when somebody reports cheating, reports stealing. It goes way back in our history of jurisprudence here in the United States. And it really is a citizen coming forward who says, my company's cheating, they're cheating the government, or they're cheating their stockholders, shareholders.
And who are these whistleblowers?
Well, they're really just common folks, you know. They're people that work at companies. They're people that work at companies that may have government contracts. They're people who work for healthcare providers. They're folks that work at public and private companies that are in a position to see the conduct of that company and to determine the conduct of that company may be illegal or may be fraudulent.
And are these whistleblower claims new?
No, as I alluded to earlier, they go back hundreds of years, actually. Interestingly, they go back to the Civil War when there was an act or a law passed by Congress because folks were selling bad ammunition and sick horses to the Union Army. And so throughout our history, we've had the government come in and incentivize people to come forward to disclose fraud and to disclose cheating. So go ahead.
Okay, so how are the newest whistleblower provisions different?
Well, every so often there are new whistleblower statutes that are put out there to address various wrongs. And as we all know, our financial system was at the brink a couple of years ago. It was at the brink because there was cheating in the system, there was too much leverage in the system, and there was conduct that was very aggressive, if not fraudulent. And in connection with that, there was a Reform Act called the Dodd-Frank Reform Act that had many different provisions to it, but one of those provisions was a Whistleblower Act. And that Whistleblower Act sort of was a continuation of other acts in the past. And in the Whistleblower Act of the most recent iteration, we see a situation where individuals are going to be able to go directly to the Securities and Exchange Commission with complaints about improper conduct at various corporations.
So why would somebody file a whistleblower claim?
Well, it's a very good question. I guess different people have different motives. I think one motive is they just want to do the right thing. They see something bad happening. They're honorable people. They're honest people, and they just want to right a wrong. Another times, oftentimes people get in situations that are very uncomfortable. There's bad conduct, if you will, fraudulent conduct going on around them. They don't want to be complicit in that, and they want to come forward and tell the authorities, whether it be the government, the SEC, the Department of Justice, state authorities, about that conduct. So there's oftentimes mixed reasons for doing it.
Okay. How do I file a whistleblower claim?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. It depends what the basis is. So, for instance, if somebody's not paying their taxes, they can go directly to the IRS and report somebody who hasn't paid their taxes. If it's an old, what's called False Claims Act, they can go directly to the Department of Justice. That's when somebody's cheating the government. It may be in the context of a military contract. It may be in connection with a healthcare contract. The newest iteration, under Dodd-Frank, folks would go directly to the Securities and Exchange Commission and make a complaint with them. Those rules are certainly being written right now and haven't been completely fleshed out. But an individual can go directly to authorities.
And do they need an attorney?
Zach, it's a good question. They really don't. I'd recommend that they have an attorney, particularly if it's a serious matter. What an attorney can do is basically advise them on how best to bring their complaint to the authorities, to put the complaint in the most favorable light so that the authorities explain it correctly, or that it can be explained to authorities correctly. And most importantly, a lot of whistleblowers, are taking a risk when they come forward. They're taking a risk with their employment. They're taking a risk with their career, and it's probably better to be represented by counsel in connection with that type of situation.
And can these whistleblowers expect an award?
Oftentimes they do, and it's a big part of it. I have to be honest with you. I think getting a large award as a whistleblower is certainly a motivating factor for a lot of people. But some people don't care. I mean, they do it because they believe it's the right thing. What the reward is there for is to protect people, because when they become a whistleblower, they really do, I don't want to say jeopardize, but they put at risk their career, they put at risk their job. And so what the incentive bonus is, or the reward, is to compensate them for the risk that they're taking. And that risk can be substantial, but the rewards can be very substantial as well.
All right. Well, thanks for that information.
Thank you.